Well, hi guys, I've been flat out lately. Over the last 3, maybe 4 weeks, I've been planting a lot of New Zealand native trees along the wild side of the stream behind me to help make the area a bit more attractive for wildlife, mostly native birds to New Zealand. But so I'll just quickly show you a video of some of the trees I've been planting and where I've been planting them. Okay, we'll see how we go. Okay. Probably see here a little bit of deer sign. The deer have obviously been down here while they've been going through the native trees looking. So we'll see what sort of damage they've done to the trees. Okay, overlooking an area which has recently been planted with native trees, and it looks like the deer haven't got into these ones, so it's looking pretty good. Okay, a little bit hard to see, but just there in the centre there's a mahoe tree which was planted. They haven't touched that. Going up the bank a little bit is a lacebark tree, young lacebark tree, and just over the log is another mahoe. They're a little bit hard to see amongst this, but you can see there's a few trees up here which have been planted, going all the way up the bank. We've got a few young kauais down the front which are very hard to see. There's one in the centre now, another one in the centre there roughly, and we're going to go under these trees and see what sort of trees are there and see whether the deer have gone in and caused any damage there. Okay, just around the corner from here I've planted quite a few different varieties of trees. Same again, they're a little bit hard to see. Right there is a young kauai tree. Another young kauai tree is there. Mahoe tree just planted up there. And over here we have amongst all the things, we have some young cabbage trees growing. But anyway, we'll head down this way. I've planted quite a few trees down here. You probably can't see it, but where the stake is roughly there is another young kauai tree, and it's looking pretty good actually. It's grown a bit since it was planted. More kauais. You might be able to see where the stake is, and above that a mahoe tree, and in behind there you probably can't see, is a lacebark tree. And all through here more kauais, more cabbage trees, and yeah, there's quite a number of trees in this little area. Kauai just, where are we? Down there. Kauai there. And mahoe just there. Oh. Another kauai, and down here is a cabbage tree Down behind here is another young cabbage tree. Up there we have a mahui, and over there we have another kawai tree. There's quite a few other trees in here also, and they're looking good. It looks like the deer have not come through and touched them at all. So we'll head down this way and just see what else is down here. There's a young lace bark tree there in the centre. Has not been touched. There's a few trees planted up here which we will not be able to see. Kawai down the bottom here, you can see that straight pole. All the trees in here have not been touched, which is good. Same in this area, there's a lot of bracken fern coming up, but amongst all that there's a lot of young trees planted, which are very hard to see at the moment. Give them a year or two and they'll all start growing. Yeah. You can see right here, right there, there's a young lacebark tree. It's had all the tops chewed out. It would have been chewed out by the deer. So we'll, and I know they've caused a little bit of damage through this area, so we'll see what we've got. You see this area here has been sprayed out and planted. And there's a lot of trees through here. In total we've planted about 800 native trees through this area along the stream, and most of them have been left alone and untouched. And as I said before, at this stage they're a little bit hard to see. But there's quite a few different varieties through here. But through this area there was a lot of mahauis, or moais, and unfortunately they seem to be the only trees that the deer have touched through this area. As you can see, there's one there. It's had a lot of the leaves chewed off and the tops chewed off it. But right next door to it there's another one, which has not been touched at all. And then just below that is another one again, which has had everything chewed off the top of it. And through here you can see, they've all been chewed with the moais or mahauis, and everything else has been left untouched. But unfortunately you might find it a little bit hard to see all these trees. But given time, it's going to look good in this area. Yeah, as I said, there's approximately 800 trees been planted throughout this area along the stream. The stream going down that way and heading all the way up here and up where we've just walked from. The same again in this area here. There's been quite a variety of native trees have been planted, which are a little bit hard to see at the moment, but yeah, give it a year or two and it'll start looking good. In this area here, Um, believe it or not, even though they're hard to see, I'll try and focus on one of them right here, or another one right there. They're a little bit hard to see. I've planted approximately 100 of these. There's kahikatea trees, or a New Zealand white pine tree. They grow very, very tall. In 100 years, that time they'll look magnificent, but we'll see if they survive that long. Okay, there we have a quick video of some mature kahikatea trees, which are probably well over 100 years old. So they can potentially grow into trees that size. Okay, and again in this area planted a few flax bushes. This is a very swampy area, and I planted flax bushes approximately a metre apart from each other, and covering a small area which is probably 20 or more metres long. Here I thought I had 100 bushes, but it looks like there is not 100 bushes here. But yeah, give them a year or two and again these are going to look brilliant. And along the bank through here I have other bushes planted, a few hebes and cabbage trees. Hebes and cabbage trees. Everything is only young at the moment, so it doesn't look too fresh, but it's been sprayed, so it's not competing against the grasses and weeds that are already growing down this area. And up on the bank just up in here, we'll go and have a look very shortly. I've got a number of totra trees growing, kauai trees, hebe trees, kanuka trees, all sorts of things growing up here, but we'll go and have a quick look. Yeah, very hard to see, but the number of trees. In this area we've got kauai, what else? We've got lacebark, which have been chewed out by the deer, some of them. And going up into here you may be able to see we've got kanuka trees and totra trees growing. We'll go up and have another look at them. Here's a young totra growing, and beside it is a hebe tree. We've got a number of young totras growing in this area, and in time hopefully they will look good, with a few kanukas growing. They were originally planted as a spacer between the trees, so the trees will grow nice and straight upwards, but we'll see how things go there. But there's quite a few there, so yeah. That's a little bit of the area that's been planted. You can see the stream down there, so I'm hoping to plant it all along the length of the stream through the property to make it look a bit more like a bush environment and attract a few more native birds and other animals. Not necessarily the deer, but for some reason they seem to be here. A few more natives, a lot of kanukas and a lot of totras planted through here. In time they're going to look good. In this area here the bank has given away quite a bit. Same again, we've got kanuka, totra, hebe, All sorts of trees planted through here. You may be able to see them. There's a few more carnukas. In time they'll grow big and bushy. And luckily in this area here, the deer have not come into this area as of yet. So all the mahois are looking pretty healthy. And as you can see, the bank is given away here. So hopefully by having the trees planted, it's going to help hold it up. We'll see how we go in the next. We'll get a few more heavy rainfalls, a bit of flooding coming through this area, so we'll just see how things go. And all up and through here we've got more trees planted. And it looks that the deer have not been up here yet, so everything's looking pretty healthy. The young mahoe, I think that is a pittosporum of sorts. Mahoe, young lowspark, and a kauai tree just there. Cabbage tree, pittosporum. Yeah, so okay, you can see it's a beautiful looking kauai there. It's taken off quite a bit since it was planted. That was about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Young kauai. And along here with the fence line, there's some larger adult mahoe trees there, and they're looking good. With all those younger ones coming up, it will add to the look of the area. And down here is a lowspark. We have another lowspark right there. So there's quite a few different varieties of trees in this area. And yeah, so we'll just see how everything goes in time. And again, going up the stream, more of the trees. So there we have a young rabbit in the middle of the screen. As of yet, they don't seem to have been bothering the trees. For a long time I thought it was the trees, until I put a few cameras up and caught the deer coming through, eating them. But yeah, no, that rabbit's looking happy. So all the area through here has been planted. We've been through there, had a look at some of the young trees. So we'll keep an eye on them just to see if there's any damage or too much damage happens. And along here, you won't be able to see it, but they're in amongst all this stuff growing. We've got a lot of hebe trees planted. You might be able to see some of them. There's a whole lot in through here. And again, in time, they will look good with other trees up on the bank. And up near the top, just above below that fence line up top, we've got a lot of mountain beech trees planted, which I think are looking quite good. So through this area we've got a lot of mountain beech planted, but again it's a little bit young, so you can't really tell it, but yeah, give it a few more years and it will start looking good through this area here. Some trees have done well. growing nice and tall, and others have struggled a bit. But yeah, in time it's all going to look pretty good. Lace bark here, another mountain beech. And then through here is a bit of a swampy spring area which I've planted nothing in it as of yet. But give it time, we'll work out something we can put through there. Over the stream, on the other side of that stream, yeah, over that whole area we've just walked through, there's been a total of, this year there's been 800 trees planted. Last year I think I planted 300, and the year before that I probably planted 500. But they're all very slow growing, being the New Zealand natives. But give it time, it will start looking pretty good. Very hard to see, but there's quite a few trees planted in this area too. And through here you see the brown tops down below. That's the young kahikateas which have been planted, which are growing all the way up that hill and along the stream for quite a way. Burning off a little bit of the gorse. Hopefully the smell of all the burning stuff will help keep the deer away. We'll see what happens.